Statistics.
Well, hi, everybody. My name is Roger. I'm with Green Mountain Coffee, and I'm here with our friend, Kelly Clarkson.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Good.
How are you, Kelly?
I'm looking forward to it.
This is great.
All
Thank you,
right.
as am I. And I'd like to welcome our guests, not only our many viewers, but we have 4 super fans of Green Mountain Coffee who have agreed to participate in our little Google Plus hangout today. So welcome to them. We want to say hi to Allie. Hi, Allie.
Hey, what's up, Allie?
Hey, I'm so excited. Thanks for hanging out, Kelly, and drinking coffee.
I know, it's really warm in my hands. I'm happy about it.
I know, you keep talking about it.
That's great. And welcome also to Ashley. Ashley, say hello.
Hi, how are you? Look, on my mug. I have you on my mug. We
Oh,
met each other, look, in Nashville.
I love that.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
Ashley Lane. Oh, I know you.
There you go, yeah.
This is where we get a nice mug, Ashley.
Thank you.
I mean that as a term of endearment. So with us today is Frank. Frank, how are you?
Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Frank.
good. How are you doing?
Awesome. How you doing, man?
Very good. Now some coffee as well.
It looks like you're on board the Enterprise.
A little bit.
Star Trek.
It's actually Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, I am such a Trekkie. Don't even worry about it.
Great. Well, thanks for being a part of this, Frank. And we also have Carrie. A little connectivity issue, but I think she's back. Carrie, say hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi.
Thanks again,
Excited
everyone.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Thanks again, everyone. We're here to talk about Fair Trade Coffee
We are.
and Fair Trade Month, and we're delighted to have Kelly being a part of that. And I know that you participated in what we call a source trip recently. You went with Green Mountain Coffee to Peru.
Peru, which is awesome.
How exciting! What was the
Yeah.
biggest takeaway
Well, I
for you?
saw you actually right before I
Right.
left for the trip, and I was really excited. And it was, I didn't even know what to expect. I'd never been to that part of the world, and it was really, really awesome. And I didn't really know what fair trade was. Ignorant me, I realized. But I got to find out, what fair trade means, meet the actual, coffee farmers that actually benefit from it. It was just really awesome just seeing those, because we buy coffee all the time in the stores, and it's nice to actually see, those faces when you're buying it, now, and you actually get that kind of personal connection, which is really cool, which I love. So, but, and it's nice to know, like, you can just that's a simple choice that makes a huge difference in someone's life, to these coffee farmers to actually get a fair trade price for their coffee. So,
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
it was
great.
really cool meeting everybody.
Okay.
And I didn't know anything about coffee, really, like how I didn't know it was fruit. So,
There you go.
so yeah.
Well, it's great to hear
Really
you learned
uneducated.
something about coffee and fair trade.
Yeah.
And our guests are learning as well, and they
Yeah.
have some questions for you, so if we can frame that up. And I'll say really quickly, it was funny when you were referring to bumping into each other
Yeah.
in Las Vegas. We were in a room full of media people. It was a radio
Yeah.
remote broadcast, and we hadn't yet gone public or signed the contract
Yeah.
with you. And
Yeah.
Kelly was jumping up and down and was very excited
I was
about going
very
to Peru.
excited.
I'm like, we're in a room
I
full
know.
of radio people. Like,
I
don't
know.
talk about this now.
I know.
But
I
we
was
kept it
excited.
under wraps. It was
It
good.
is. It's cool. It's an awesome thing to be a part of. So.
So thanks again for being here. Let's start up these questions. Allie, you had the first question. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Kelly, I know that you are into so many things about education, especially. And when I was watching your videos when you were down in Peru, I was wondering what touched you the most, like with the women in education and the women in health. You seemed to be so inspired by that factor of fair trade and like the whole coffee experience.
Well,
like what was it about that?
I think one of the cool things for me, I grew up a lot of my life with a single mom, and she worked really hard, and it was really cool to see that kind of empowerment in a different part of the world with all these women, just taking control and getting better health care, better educational value for their kids, and just for these communities of fair trade coffee farmers, because a lot of the coffee farmers, if you're not involved in the fair trade program, you get basically gypped. You're not. It's not as good as price for your coffee, and it's not. I guess the slogan that we kind of try and say is it's a great cup of coffee, but it's also for a good quality life for all these farmers. And it was cool that these women are farmers. These women are taking charge as well, and that was super inspiring for me because I grew up around that. So it was just cool, like for me to be from Texas, and the United States, and to somehow relate to this woman, Sabina, that lives in the mountains and makes coffee for a living. It's really kind of a small world once you think about it. But it was amazing though. Just I think the empowerment of the women and taking control of their finances as well, which is a huge thing in different countries. Like I've been all over the world, and not a lot of women have that kind of say. So and that kind of power, and it was really nice to see the whole community embrace that. All the farmers and everybody was, I don't know, just working really hard to better for their children. That was the thing that I really loved hearing the men and women say. They were like, we just want a better lives for our children, that come behind us. And I think that's what everybody wants all over the world. So it was funny, you can go all the way to Peru, but still have the same message as you get when you're a kid. So, yeah.
That's nice. That's powerful. Thank you. Great question, Allie. Thank you so much. Ashley, you were up next. I know you're a fan of our Fair Trade pumpkin spice. So.
You might be a fan of me too, Ashley. I know you will.
Maybe. Just a little bit. 12th concert last month. Whatever.
I know.
My question is, what surprised you most about your trip to Peru?
You know what? Nothing really shocked me because I had no idea what I was walking into. Like I said, I didn't know much about fair trade. I didn't know really much about coffee except for I drank it, and I drink it all the time. But I didn't know. I didn't really know what I was stepping into. So nothing really shocked me. I guess the thing that was, was shocking is the fact that you don't really think about it. Like I said earlier, it's such a simple thing to be a part of something that every time you go in the store, instead of just buying something off the shelf, actually look for those fair trade marks, like on the box or on the package or, on the coffee, whatever you're doing. And it's a really cool program to be a part of because I had no idea. That was the thing that actually most educated me on this trip. I don't think anybody really knows none of my friends did. They were like, what? So it was kind of cool to be a part of getting that message out to everybody because it's just such a simple thing to walk into a grocery store and say, oh, okay, I'm going to get this one. It's fair trade. And it's like, those people are working so hard. And that's why we, Green Mountain Coffee and myself, we did those videos for everybody to see the faces. Like you get to meet these coffee farmers that work really hard. And, we all work really hard at our jobs as well. So everybody, everybody can relate to that. So I guess it was just, what was shocking is no matter where you go in the world, it was a new country for me to venture into. And no matter where you go in the world, everybody does have that same feeling inside of wanting to better things, better the world for your children behind you and wanting to better education and just wanting to better everything for, leave a good footprint behind, and that's what I think is cool about fair trade. Like, I think it's a step towards that. So.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great
I'm long-winded, Ashley. You know that.
Are ya?
But in a great way, saying all the good things. But next up, we had Frank. Frank, you had a good question for Kelly. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question was, what impact has your trip had on you, as well as your coffee and drinking habits that you have now?
I guess the cool impact is that, like I was saying before, you actually know the faces that are making it. Like, I don't think, everybody in the world can't travel like, we did. And that was a really cool opportunity that Green Mountain Coffee did for me. Everybody obviously can't have that experience. So that's what I think was cool about us making those video packages. And Green Mountain Coffee did such a great job with all the video packaging. They were just so cool and intimate and personal. And you actually got to meet these coffee farmers. And something so simple, it sounds ignorant, but, I've drank coffee my whole life, but I don't think about who makes it. Like, I also buy clothes. I don't think about any of that. You're just buying it. It looks cool or it tastes good, So it was cool, I think, for Green Mountain Coffee, just even on a larger scale in life, just to, make sure we know what we're investing in and that we're the fair trade thing. Like, we're choosing to actually give someone a better quality of life for their product. And I think that's key, right? So.
And it's rare that a simple purchase decision can have such a great impact along the whole supply chain.
Yeah.
So it's nice that your eyes were open to that.
Yeah, it was
That's
cool.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. Right?
Beam me up, Scotty. Okay, bye. I just had to say it. I know it's Star Trek Voyager, but I'm still stuck on the other one.
That's fine. It works.
He's like, there's such a big difference.
Great. Thanks, Frank. Carrie, you had a question as well. Go ahead, please.
Okay. What did you learn from your trip to Peru, and how is it going to change the way you think about things moving forward?
Well, honestly, I think once again, the big impact for me moving forward is even my friends, like we talk about. You'll walk in the store now, like after we get this message out, and I'm simply talking about fair trade. If you don't know about it, it's now in your subconscious where you're going to walk in a store, and now when you're picking out coffees, you're going to look over and you're going to go, ooh, I'm going to pick that one because it's fair trade, and I know that that's like working towards a better world, better purpose, better life for these farmers, but better everything. So it's one of those things where it's like you're gonna buy a coffee anyway, so why don't you buy something that's actually supporting someone, and then that kind of bleeds over into other things you do in life, and just making sure that people get a fair, like I run an organization. I want to make sure people that I work for are getting a fair amount, for the work they're putting in, the what they're bringing to the organization. It's the same thing, for these coffee farmers. They work really hard, like seriously. Like I went through the whole process with them, and it is amazing how much it takes to make one cup of coffee, like how much work. So it just kind of opens your eyes, and that's kind of what I pulled out from it myself, and I hope that everybody that got to see the videos, you got to see all the inspiring moments with me in the community, hanging out, singing and dancing, and then I got to hear their stories personally, like when I went to the coffee farmers, and it was really cool. I got to meet the little kids there, and it's just really cool also to meet the little kids that that they're going to get a better shot than they had before. Fair trade was in their community and a part of their life. So I think honestly it just comes down to that. Just the fair trade thing is really why I was excited about working with Green Mountain Coffee. I love coffee and I love their coffee, but it is cool that they're a company not just working for themselves but for others.
That's great. Thank you. Thanks, Carrie. You've talked a lot about the human element of fair trade and the connections that you made down there. You mentioned Sabina before, too. What's the connection with Sabina?
Well, Sabina was super cute, first of all. Like, she was just such a sweetheart, and she was so nice and explained the whole process. And that's what I mean. She was sweet, and she took her time to explain all of that, and I was completely ignorant to all of it. I didn't even know it came from a fruit.
Right.
So
beans in the cherry.
I know, I didn't know that, and a lot of people with my crew didn't know that. So anyway, she took me through the whole process, and it just was really cool as well, just to see. Like, I'm really proud of what I do and all the work I put into to my job, and it was proud. She was so proud. Like she was like, this is what I do, and this is what my family does, and this is what we're good at, and this is why we feel like we deserve a better price, and they do. And that's why I was fortunate to be able to be a voice for that. Just because people know my name, and it's cool to use your name for shine the spotlight on something that maybe needs a little light. So
this is a good thing to shine your spotlight.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and we also appreciate the great questions from
you
our
guys.
team.
Thank you.
Kelly did have a little surprise for each of you that she wanted to mention.
I did have a
You
surprise.
did, which I'm going to mention.
I was like, wait, what was my surprise?
On behalf of Kelly, we're going to send each of you a Keurig brewer and
What?
some,
No, that?
and
No,
some
I was
continent blend.
I'm buying y'all good. I love this.
We're delighted that we've had so many viewers, but I just want to make it clear that that's for our 4 participants. So we're going to send Keurig.
Awesome.
You're going to cure the K-Cup packs?
It's
Okay, that's the
3
better
o'clock.
one. I like that one. Because you
There we
can't
go.
find the other one. So
Yeah.
K-Cup, that's the one we have. So you're welcome.
That's so awesome.
Well, we appreciate your input, and thanks for the great questions, and thanks for being open to discussing this, because it's
Yeah, thank you
relatively
guys
new
so
movement.
much.
We're delighted to be a part of it, and we're delighted to have such a wonderful ambassador.